Vote centers for Dubois County, an issue that's come up here in the last couple of months. I'm Bradford Raths, and here to talk about vote centers or potential vote centers in the county, Bridgette Jarboe.
Hi.
So let's talk about the way things are currently going with all the precincts in the county.
Okay. Currently we have 40 precincts, as you know. So we potentially have 40 different polling places. However, we have kind of done something a little unique to where we have condensed polling places, and we will have more than one precinct in a polling place. Huntingburg Event Center, all 6 precincts vote in Huntingburg. Ferdinand, all 3 precincts vote at the Ferdinand Community Center. So we've already done some condensing down, and then also in Jasper we've done that as well, where we've put more than one precinct in a polling location.
Right. So kind of what started this whole conversation about voting centers?
Vote centers have been brought up throughout the state. They were brought up a couple of years ago. They've actually been ran for the last 2 years. Wayne County, Cass County, and Tippecanoe County were the 3 pilot counties in the state of Indiana for vote centers. The luxury with the vote center, you can live anywhere in the county and vote at one of these locations. It is exactly like absentee voting the 28 days before. Anyone that wants to vote absentee now, or because they believe they won't be here on election day, anybody can live anywhere in the county, but they come to the courthouse and they vote. So a vote center is basically allowing anyone that lives anywhere to vote at one of these locations.
So I guess that would be what you would consider the biggest difference then, is just having everybody go to more of a central.
It is. It really is. And again, we've already got what I consider little mini vote centers. We have one in Huntingburg, we have the one in Ferdinand, we have one in Jasper at the middle school, where we have 4 different precincts there. The difference is if somebody shows up at a location now and we did re-precincting, so people have moved. Somebody has always voted in 2 East. Well, for Jasper, now they vote in 2 West. 2 separate polling locations. So they may have to get in their vehicle and drive somewhere else. Now, we try to keep each district there. So, but somebody lived in 2, now they live in 3, but they showed up at their old polling location. We have to call into the office, find out where they go, and then they have to be sent to another location. This just allows you to show up, one of 5 or 6 potential polling sites, walk in, give them your name, show them your ID, and you can go vote.
Yeah. So what about, we talked about the big positives or drawbacks. Any other ones, positive or drawback wise?
Going to vote centers, the first year we would have, we are hoping to do it for cost savings to the county. The biggest expense we have on election day are for the number of workers. Minimum by state law, we must have 5 workers at each polling location. So the 1 inspector, a judge from the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and a clerk from the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. So we have 5 of those for every polling location that we have. So that's 200 workers. We can bring this down substantially. If we even cut it in half, we're saving half of our labor costs, food costs, training costs. All of those things we could save money. The initial upfront are down. A negative to this would be we would have to invest in electronic poll books. That is just the signature part. Where everybody comes in now, we sign the paper poll book. You sign next to your name. This would be an electronic poll book, kind of like you sign when you swipe a credit card or a debit card. You sign your name, but when you can swipe your credit card through or your driver's license through, it'll pull up where you live, what precinct you vote in. It'll give us all the information we need, or we can type your name in and get it. You sign your name, you can go vote. Voting machines that we are using are not changing. That's been a big misconception. You are not voting via the internet. You are voting on the same machines we've been using for the past 12 years.
Okay. So I understand, I think you guys had a meeting on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Where do things stand right now?
The election board now, we are working forward, looking at getting our study committee together. There are basic 7 steps that it takes a county to go through to get to a vote center. We've accomplished 2 of those. The election board is in unanimous agreement. We've gone to the commissioners and to the council. The commissioners gave us a resolution allowing us to go forward with the study committee, and that's all it is a study committee. We must hold at least 2 town hall meetings, but we will definitely hold more. We want to talk to everybody in the county and get as much input as we can with that. So the study committee is our next step.
Okay, so the timeline, is it still at the 2014 election then?
We would like to. We need to have a plan submitted to the state Indiana Election Division 60 days before we would like, before the primary of 2014. We would like to have it done before that. We submit the plan. They don't approve or disapprove of any plans. All they do is make suggestions. So my understanding, talking to the Tippecanoe County Clerk, Krista Coffey was telling us, they went from their original plan that they did as a pilot county, from a stack of, this big of their plan, they can now condense it down and it'll be this big. Practice, experience, you know what it takes to make it work.
Right. So long-term benefits then for the county as a whole.
We should have some cost savings in there. Again, we're going to run into our voting machines are 12 years old. So we're going to have a little bit of upkeep to those. We are going to have maintenance to those. Initial upfront costs are going to be electronic poll books. We don't want to buy 40 electronic poll books. That would blow us out of the water. However, if we can buy 10, we can save, over the long haul, we can save money. It then turns around, time that goes back to the clerk's office, we come back in and we don't have to scan every poll book signature that's in. I can download on a zip drive and have a thumb drive done in 5 minutes and have all that information fed to the state.
So you briefly mentioned you guys have to have a couple of town hall meetings. Talk about the importance of having the people come out and give their input on this.
That's the only way we can gauge how they feel about moving forward with this. We do not want to disenfranchise anybody or make anyone feel that we don't want them to vote. We need them to vote. Without voters, part of my office is missing something. So we need everybody out, but we want to hear their concerns. We want to hear their questions. What do they know about it? What don't they know about it? There's a lot of misconceptions that are out there, and they just go off of what somebody said instead of just asking. They can call my office anytime, and I'll answer any of the questions I can answer. If I don't have an answer immediately, I will find an answer and get back with them. So
what other ways then, outside of going to the meetings, they can just call your office, or what else can they?
They can. Our office is, phone number is 812-481-7037. That is directly into my desk. They can go online and Google vote centers. If they have questions, check out Secretary of State likes the idea for vote centers if it works for your county. Ohio County is the smallest county in Indiana. They have 4 precincts. They are a vote center county. So we've got 7 counties now that have gone to this. It just works for different, but not for everybody. It may not work well for everybody.
So as a final question then, do you see this kind of maybe as a long-term trend? Maybe across the state, more and more counties start going this direction? Or
I believe, definitely. I think so. The talk among, when the clerks are together or the election groups are together and talking through, it is something that it does work for a lot of counties. There were 3 test pilot counties. There are now 7 counties that are positive, and I'm wanting to say there are upward a total of probably 28 that could be vote center counties going into next year. So we should see a lot.
Right. Well, Bridgette, we thank you for coming by the studio.
Thank you for having me.
This has been our interview with Bridgette Jarboe about the potential for Dubois County becoming a vote center county. We'll have more news right after this.